What happened to Bethesda? If you haven't been living under a rock, you would have definitely heard the unfortunate news that their newest IP in over 20 years and their latest game, Starfield, was unfortunately delayed until 2023. Not a surprise, to be sure, but a welcome one. I mean, it's hard to think of many AAA games that haven't been delayed over the past 2 years, a symptom of the difficult remote working circumstances many developers have been forced to use. There's been numerous rumours and leaks about the game not being in the correct state it should be at this time, so the delay will give the developers a chance to fine-tune what is probably their most important release in over a decade. I'm not here to talk about why the game has been delayed or why Bethesda really needs this to be a hit. No, I'm here to talk about the downright terrible way the game has been presented to us thus far. I am talking about Starfield's marketing, advertising, promotion, trailers, gameplay or lack thereof. Now Bethesda is most probably going to show up to this Xbox showcase on June 12th and Starfield will be there, and it might very well have an amazing trailer showing off gameplay finally. But the fact remains, so far this game has been strange, unclear, and most importantly, just so un-Bethesda. Before 2018, Bethesda were arguably the undisputed GOATs for building hype for their newest releases. Now for me to truly explain what I mean, let's just cast our minds back, draw the clocks back, to a time where Bethesda game studios were the very pinnacle of gaming. 2010. It was at the Spike Video Game Awards on December 11th, 2010. A young and hungry Todd Howard on stage, the ink of his pen still not dry after penning the gospel of the lusty Argonian maid.
The privilege to be honored with several awards for Oblivion, including Game of the Year. 2 years ago, we were honored again for Fallout 3. Well, since that time, my team at Bethesda Game Studios and I have been hard at work on our next epic. And we wanted to find the right time to announce not only what that game is, but the day it's coming out. And that right time is now.
There's one they fear. In their tongue, he's Dovahkiin, Dragonborn.
Skyrim is announced. Over the next months, a select number of trailers overviewing the game built up an enormous amount of hype. Who could forget the chills of the official trailer with the bombastic Nordic Dragonborn soundtrack? In the summer, months leading up to the release, a gameplay demo with actual gameplay.
Each time we do a new ElderScrolls game, we'd like to start fresh, and Skyrim is no different. Coming off of Oblivion, and then the team did Fallout 3, we had a huge list of things we knew we wanted to do technically with the current generation of hardware and PCs to bring a virtual fantasy world to life. So we've rewritten the render, we've rewritten all the gameplay, the scripting language, the faces, the foliage, and all this comes together in our new engine we call the Creation Engine. So we're interested in all the little details like this plant here, the medium details of these logs and trees, and all the way up to distant mountains. And if you've played our previous stuff, you know that mountain is not just a backdrop. You can walk all the way to the top of that mountain.
Are you sure about that?
Again, a charismatic Todd Howard, confidently showing the game off, with the showmanship of Hemshkia preaching the ways of Talos in the center of Whiterun. Magazine features a variety of short videos highlighting the areas of the game, the sound of Skyrim, the world of Skyrim, a live action trailer. I remember downloading these clips and watching them over and over again as my mind boggled with the possibilities that Skyrim promised.
So any questions on the pronunciation? The full quarter note. Let's try it. 5, 6.
I had this idea that the music for Skyrim would be the Elder Scrolls theme, but sung by a barbarian choir.
Go wherever you want, be whoever you want. As we all know, Skyrim released on 11/11/11, exactly 11 months after its reveal at the Spike VGAs. Skyrim's marketing was short and sweet. They announced the game, promoted the game, and launched the game all within a year. Truly unheard of in today's post-pandemic, delay-ridden industry. We all know what happens next. Skyrim goes on to become one of the best-selling games of all time, winning a variety of awards and cementing Bethesda as one of the industry's best. If you ask me, that's pretty good for a game that was announced and released within 12 months. You see what I'm getting at? No announcement trailers 5 years before launch or vague promises. They showed the game, they released the game, they delivered the game. Hello my unconventional friends, this is just a reminder to check out my Twitch channel where we stream all sorts of Bethesda goodness, including Skyrim and Fallout 4. It's a lot of fun, look at the fun. Ah, see, but you have to pay for her services and I'm... What the fuck? How did you get here? What the fuck? Angry dog. 2015, rumours of a new Fallout game set in the Boston area have been circulating for years. People are starting to expect the next big Bethesda game after enough time has passed since Skyrim. However, Bethesda doesn't acknowledge any of the leaks. They keep their heads down and announce nothing, quietly working on the game. The 3rd of June 2015, E3, the biggest gaming show of the year, at Bethesda's very own conference. Fallout fans around the world proceed to lose their minds. Todd Howard once again takes to the stage in what has become Bethesda's trademark way to tell their fans to get ready as a game is coming soon.
We've worked on Fallout for over 10 years now, and we started designing this one actually right after Fallout 3 in 2009. We were busy with the Skyrim game. But for the last 4 years, we have been working very, very hard to create something really special. And we've done a lot, and tonight we are going to show you a lot.
A gameplay demo showing off a promising settlement mechanic and a classy trailer showing off modernized shooting, which is accompanied by some classic Fallout tunes. You have to admit, Bethesda know how to put on the show. And regardless of how you feel about Fallout 4, certainly a divisive entry, this showcase will be remembered as one of the biggest video game hype builders of all time. I mean, I expect Todd Howard to keep being wheeled out by Bethesda long after his retirement for these game showings. I mean, Summer's Game Fest 2077, Jeff Keighley will be long dead. There we will have Mr. Howard wheeled onto the stage in his power core from Fallout powered mobility scooter, his power armor raises him out of his chair. He looks up to the crowd. He announces Skyrim 100 Years Edition is coming. The crowd goes wild with anticipation. He turns to Pete Hines and says, "We've done it, mate. We're selling Skyrim again." So much like Skyrim, Bethesda announced and released Fallout 4 in a matter of months. 5 months to be exact. With that short window, Bethesda did less marketing activity than any other AAA studio at the time, who promoted their game for years and got more hype and got more sales. Essentially, less is more. I don't know. In 2015, there was this energy, the hype online about Fallout 4 in those months leading up to release that I've struggled to really see anything else capture. 2018, we all know how Fallout 76 turned out. Probably one of the biggest disasters in gaming history. But again, announced and released in the same short time frame as Skyrim and Fallout. Believe it or not, people were very hyped for 76. Bethesda were able to keep the game under wraps and surprise everybody with that reveal. But now we finally get to the subject of this video. Starfield. In the summer of 2018, Starfield was revealed? The same year that Bethesda announced and launched Fallout 76? Doesn't this feel slightly out of character based on what we've been discussing? This trailer feels like a really long time ago. 4 years ago now to be exact. Starfield's journey to release feels like the bowhead whale's lifespan. Really long. Let's cast our minds back to 2018 for that reveal. A strange move indeed to reveal a game the same year another one of your games is releasing. Perhaps a precautionary move. An olive branch to their hardcore RPG fanbase, who they may have seemingly abandoned with their multiplayer only title from that year. Disappointingly, a reveal trailer symptomatic of the gaming climate we find ourselves in today. A whole 64 seconds of why? I would call it more of a acknowledgement trailer than anything else. Probably a response to its much leaked status, the elephant in Pete Hines' bedroom. If Starfield stays on track to release in 2023, the amount of time between the announcement trailer and the game's release will be 5 years. 5 years, it's like announcing Fallout 4 the year before Skyrim releases in 2010 and waiting until 2015 to play it. A huge period of time, especially in gaming years. I don't know about you, but I feel like a lot less people would have cared about Fallout 4 if they announced it in 2010. Just a thought. Alas, the trailer proved irrelevant. Most of the community forgot about its existence for another 3 years before another cinematic but equally bad trailer by Bethesda's standards, the official trailer. I mean, this just pissed me off. I was waiting for that big reveal. We were finally going to find out what the hell this game even was. How did it play? What type of game was it? Is it just Skyrim in space? Does it have an alien version of the lusty Argonian maid? But no, nothing, just a flashy release date that they abandoned anyway. I mean, the 11/11 is sexy, good marketing I guess, calling back to Skyrim, the date that was never realistic there. This trailer really did nothing for me. Next up came the variety of what I call documentary style trailers over the past 12 months. Short clips where developers talk about what the game is and what it will look like, the settled systems, the Into the Starfield series. I actually think these are great. Fascinating insider looks into the makings of one of the biggest games ever. Todd, Iron Zer and the boys talking about what makes their worlds unique. I'm not going to lie, these are extremely well done videos. It gives me that sense of childlike wonder. It makes me extremely conflicted though. My problem with these is not the concept but the application. These videos seem so out of place with the current timeline of Starfield. Why make this stuff when no one has any idea about what the game is? It's like reading lore to a game that doesn't exist. As a big BGS fan, I love to hear Todd get so excited about his newest title, but this sort of thing should release when the game is months away from launch. Remember Skyrim did the very same thing with the sound of Skyrim, the world of Skyrim. Don't tell me this isn't exactly the same thing, yet this stuff was released only a week before Skyrim released, not a year. All of this is just so un-Bethesda. Of course, the current state of the world would have most definitely derailed the game's current rollout, but not surely by this much. Now, as I covered before in this video, I'm firmly in the camp of waiting to show your game until it is ready, like Bethesda did so many times before. But Starfield has become an entirely different beast. Most people have been questioning why we haven't seen gameplay, and I am definitely joining that camp now. If you're going to promote this game so far away from launch, as Xbox's first flagship title of the Bethesda acquisition, at least show it. As I mentioned, the June 12th showcase will probably finally reveal Starfield gameplay, but it's almost too little too late. Fallout 4 and Skyrim were Bethesda blowing their load all at once. Starfield, on the other end, is like Death Grips's 2014 song, "Have a Sad Come Baby." Its marketing has been drawn out, unexciting and painful, like Cyberpunk 2077 and Halo Infinite before it. If there's one thing I want people to take away from this video, it's that it's a terrible idea to announce a game years before it is remotely ready. Skyrim and Fallout 4's way of doing things wasn't broke, so why fix it? Starfield could very well be incredible, and man, Todd, I really hope it is. I've been missing this company's games for years. No one else makes games quite like them.